Antisocial Butterflies, welcome back! Today I wanted to rock my new seahorse earrings that I got in Florida because I'm just like pretending summer's already here because we've had like 3 nice days of spring here in Boston. But anyway, today we're going to talk about things that make us feel good. First and foremost, we need to get to like the hot gossip for right now. Lis Nas X just released his new single as well as the new video along with it for Montero, which is a song that he wrote to his 14-year-old self, basically being like, fuck it, we don't need to be ashamed of who we are. And a lot of people are pressed like a panini over this. Like, all the way upset, cancel him, this, that, okay, right? The reason why is because in like, I don't know, a 30 to 40 second clip of the whole entire video, he's like seen, you know, giving the devil a lap dance because he took a stripper pole all the way down to hell, and then he took the devil's horns and is now a devil himself, right? The irony just kills me. So many homophobic people are like, go to hell. If you're gay, go to hell. Well, he did. And now you're mad about it? Like, make it make sense. Why are you so mad about this boy dressing up for a music video that many different artists would do? In his case, right? They're making a visual experience to go along with their song, right? You're following, right? Why are you mad? Are you the same group of people that were just mad about Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion like undulating on one another just on stage like 2 or 3 weeks ago? Oh, you're not. So that means you're homophobic. Okay, I got it. Yeah, okay. So we can't say that one is like female empowerment and then the other is somebody being satanic and they've lost their soul. Because it's all about empowerment. Just, you can't pick and choose. Because you're going to be that Christian that's like, hi, I sin every day. But when somebody's sinning like with something I don't like, I'm gonna be super judgmental. Like, this is society today. But this all brings me to the point of this is art. Don't get bent the fuck out of shape like a hanger because you may not choose to like that song or the message. And it's not literally just like him worshiping Satan. If you understand the song, you understand the context of it, you dig a little bit deeper to understand besides just placing judgment on it with your ignorant self, then you would know, right? But we are going to talk about things that make us feel good. So in my dream the other day, I was just like, for my show, I need to do a list of like a feel-good list, right? So here are some of my things, like fresh cut grass, makes me feel good. Wearing perfume, even though if you can't smell it on me right now, I just am like, I feel good because I smell good, right? Feeling the sun on your face, crawling into bed with like freshly laundered sheets. Like, those are all feel good things. So I want to know, what are some feel good things that you guys have in your life? Yeah, it was just literally a random thought, and I'm just like, we're gonna focus on doing things that make us feel good. We're now in the second quarter of 2021. We're still alive and doing well, thankfully, either mentally or like physically, health-wise, you know, from COVID. And why not be anything but happy, right? Like, I wanted to wear these earrings today, so I did. Simple. Lis Nas X wanted to do his thing because it made him happy. Simple. Cardi B and Megan wanted to like scissor each other on stage because they wanted to and it made them happy. Simple. Like, that's just the thing, guys. Do what makes you happy and don't worry about judgment of others because really, who gives a fuck? But whatever. Anyway, I'm just gonna make this short and sweet because I'm so excited for you guys to listen to the interview that I had with my guest for this week, Sean Kinsey. He is an artist who does feel good paintings and many more things in Philly. And he's got big things cooking right now. So I figured let's just like cut right to that. I want you guys to be able to experience his greatness because that was actually the first time I had a chance to talk with him. I came across him through like a mutual friend of a mutual friend, and I was just like, whoa, his work is dope. I definitely want to get to know more about him. So there you have it. I learned more about him. But anyway, I'm going to hit you guys with my Antisocial Circle member of the week, and then you get to enjoy the greatness of Sean Kinsey. So I'll see you guys afterwards. So if you guys can recall at the beginning of this season, I switched from doing my commercial breaks to my Antisocial Circle members. So each week I select somebody that I'm like, because I hate everybody and everything, I have a super exclusively curated circle of people that I want to shout out. And this week, because he has made me feel good, and that is the overall theme of this show today, is my former colleague but dear friend currently. I mean, we were always friends, but I was his boss, so whatever. Andrew, my friend, thank you for sharing your funny stories, your funny memes, and getting me to the point where I need my inhaler because I am so short of breath from laughing so hard. I am going into a self-induced asthma attack. So for that, my friend, thank you. Thank you for being a friend. And also, make sure you grease up that stripper pole for us to both travel down to hell, just like Lis Nas X. Today with me, I have Sean Kinsey reporting from Philly. What's up, man? How are you?
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate you taking some time to chat with me.
I appreciate you, honestly, for even reaching out because I was caught off guard by it. But, thank you so much for, for allowing me to even tell my story. So thank you.
You're welcome. Absolutely. Now, were you caught off guard in a good way or a bad way? Like, ooh, I don't
Good
want
way.
to interview. No, just kidding. Do you get interviewed often, or are you more just like on the quiet side? Like, my art will speak for.
I've done about maybe 4 podcast shows. That's about it. But I'm like usually on the move, and I'm not saying I'm not talkative, but I'm not talkative. Put it that way.
You're also antisocial, like me, right?
Yeah, you know what I mean. So, but I sense good energy. So
Good.
that's it.
Here you are. Perfect. Well, I'm so excited to hear about your story, and I've checked out your amazing artwork on Instagram, so I want to know more about it. So I got my whole sparkly notebook full of questions. I know this is like all of my interviews I've ever done. Like,
wow, the golden book, huh?
The Bible of the antisocial socialite. And then actually I'm using my niece's what was she making? Something for Spanish class, and it's written all in Spanish, but it's a post-it. Oh, you can't even see it because of the light. Wow. But a post-it note of random Spanish. Wow. So that is like my fake bookmark for right now, but it's all right. But yeah, tell me about you, Sean. This is our first time meeting. I need to know all of the vital info.
Everything about me, basically.
Yes, starting with your social security number.
No, I can't do that. But Sean Kinsey, Philadelphia born and raised. I pretty much was a basketball player all my life, but I can always draw and things of that nature. And I love the arts, love fashion and everything that has to do with art. But, coming from where, I come from, it's frowned upon, kind of, you could say. It's not the cool thing to do. But here I am now doing, what I love. So And it's been, just been a great journey for me, and I have not looked back.
So how'd you get started? Because you said you've always been drawing. So this is something from your youth. Is it something you kind of got started later in life? Like where was that kind of starting point for you that you're like, oh, I'm
yeah.
actually pretty good at doing this?
So later in life, fast forward to when I realized I actually wanted to paint. Uh, my fiance, her mom had a paint with the twist event for her birthday. So we went, and I ended up painting something. I believe it was the Eiffel Tower or something like that. But I painted mine kind of like differently, and they were like, "Wow, you're really good at this," like blah blah blah. So after that, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start doing this like from now on. And long story short, fast forward 5 years later, I have my LLC, showing Kinsey art. I've done tons of murals, curate my own art shows. I sell merchandise, doing great things. Honestly, it's like so much to tell, but since then, like that was the kickoff. So that helped me, with that spark of like, all right, you know, you should have been doing this, but now let's just start, while you're here at the age of 29, I
That's
believe.
incredible. So we
Yeah.
have to thank your mother-in-law for actually inviting you to a paint night where you
Yeah.
probably wouldn't have gone otherwise, right?
At all. Right.
So shout out to her.
Shout out to her, seriously. So
That's
yeah.
incredible. So yeah, I mean, I was checking out your artwork and you have very diverse, bright, vibrant, amazing colors. So is that like kind of like what speaks to your soul? Like I want to get to kind of know like how you move with your art because you have really like definitely when I saw your paintings I'm like I feel like there's Basquiat inspiration here in a
Mhm.
sense.
Mhm.
But I kind of want to know like what your style is, what you're passionate about in terms of like creating your art because yeah, you started with an Eiffel Tower because somebody made you paint that, right? But
Mhm.
now you have like free reign because you're going to do anything that you want on
Yeah.
campus or on a wall. So,
Mhm. Um, how I paint, pretty much, I just paint how I feel. Uh, I love using those bright, like vibrant colors because I'm not really, how can I say it? You know, I'm not really a dark thinking person. So I tend to use bright colors because I'm, just thinking like positive things and, things about love and it's like your future and, just doing like good positive things. So that's what I incorporate my artwork with a lot, with whatever I paint. So, because it brings joy to someone else, you know what I'm saying? And it, I personally feel like it relates to everyone, I don't care if you're black, white, brown, purple, you know what I mean? It's like male, female, young or old. I want to be able to touch everyone in every positive way, that I can. So that's my whole focus on my artwork. You know, I always make sure I represent my mom. She's like my biggest inspiration. She's my heart.
she's
Shout
your
out to my,
muse in a
yeah,
sense.
my muse, man. So thanks to her. So yeah,
Yeah, well, it sounds like you have a really good support system, which is nice. So,
great support system. Yeah.
yeah, even though you mentioned it's kind of like discouraged in the community, right? Like that's not the cool thing to
Hmm.
do is become an artist. I feel like the people that you do have in your corner are really, really supportive about where you're going on your path.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're really the only people that matter.
Right.
Of course, you want to sell your paintings and your
Yeah.
merchandise and all that stuff, so of course the
Yeah.
consumer matters, but
Right.
just to wake up every day and be like, yeah, I'm going to exercise my passion and do this because I believe in myself and these people believe in me too,
Right.
I think is like invaluable.
Absolutely. And I feel like I'm also just like changing people's mindsets, like showing, people from different areas and so where I come from that art is cool, it's like been around for years, for centuries. And it's like this is a thing. and it's okay to like be yourself and be creative and have fun while you're doing it. So that was my whole goal. And I also am like very big on just like being some sort of motivation for kids. 'Cause, nowadays, the kids get bullied a lot, for doing things that aren't, like the norm, or doing things that's different, or just being like geniuses. You know what I'm saying? So my biggest like goal, honestly, is to just have a some sort of like center or like after school program where kids of all like ages, from scientists to artists to painters, like to kids who are just those individuals who stand out, you know, who don't get looked at, on an everyday basis as that normal kid. You know what I mean? And just have them all together and just create, just be themselves and just be creative. You know what I'm saying? So that's like one of my main goals. And that's why I actually do what I do and how I paint, because I feel like I'm being myself and I'm, it's like not afraid to be myself.
Kind of circling back to
Mhm.
the murals, like you had mentioned that you actually have murals. Do you have any, like, do you focus on local art? Like you have murals in Philly exclusively? Do you have them outside of Philly? Like, where have you been able to show your art?
The only, all right, so what I would say, I do have sold paintings in almost about 20 states.
Wow.
Yeah, about 20 states. And mural wise, I have a mural in Sacramento. Uh, I have a few murals here in Philadelphia for like nonprofits. My actually good friend of mine named Ryan Harris. He has a nonprofit called As I Plant the Seed. Uh, Him and Tyrone, they're family.
Oh, okay.
They're cousins, and we hooked up some sort of while ago when he was opening up the his program, and he was like, "Hey, we want you to paint this mural for the kids." And I, just did it because, like I said, it's about the youth first. So I painted that mural. I have a few like custom murals for like club spots and like hookah lounges and like things like that. And that's pretty much it. About maybe about let me see, about 8 or 9 murals.
That's it.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's
God,
it.
that's amazing. I mean, especially you have to think about that. You just told me that 6 years ago you started doing your artwork.
Mhm. Yeah,
Serious,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yep,
That's
yeah,
incredible in such a short span of time to say,
yes.
hey, this is all that I've accomplished. So I'm like, don't be so humble
I
about it. You
agree.
got to humble brag a little bit.
I mean, you know what? Like I said, I try. How can I say? You put me on the spot there. Um, it's good to be humble here because, like I said, I do not like want to feel like I'm being in some sort of like competition with everyone else because that's the first thing that people think. But I would say, sometimes I, it's like deserve my flowers while I'm here, and
Absolutely.
I'm working pretty hard, and I'm like doing great things. For example, my next upcoming project, to fast forward, my biggest project so far is the Philadelphia airport. They reached out to me to do a mural in their Terminal C.
I
So
just saw that on your Instagram story
yeah,
last week and I was like, whoa,
yeah,
that's huge.
yeah. Philadelphia airport. The curator reached out to me. Long story short, I was laying in bed around like 7 o'clock, just watching TV, and I, just checked my emails, and I was like, Philadelphia airport. I didn't apply for a job for them. Like, what the hell is this? you know,
You're like,
what I mean?
spam, delete it.
Yeah,
You're like, wait,
yeah.
wait.
I almost did that. So I just kept reading it, and I was like, art curate. I said, whoa. So I had screenshot it, sent it to my uncle. He was like, what the hell? What is this? And so then I showed my fiance, and she was like, oh my gosh, that's the airport, like asking you to work with them. And I was like, yo, this is so unreal because I've only, how you just said, only about 5, 6 years ago, man, I honestly took this route of just being, a whole creator and painter. And it's been going just skyrocket since because I've been accomplishing things that I know for a fact, like some artists who I know personally, been artists for years, all their lives, haven't really accomplished. So it's like a major blessing to me.
I mean, we recently just started following each other on Instagram, and
Mhm.
not only did I see the airport, but you're now on a cocktail bottle or can, I should say. You
Yeah,
have your art there. You have an art show coming up,
yeah.
like right around the time of your birthday, because you had just mentioned right
That's my
before we
actual
started.
birthday.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay. What
that's
a
my actual
great day.
birthday on my art show. Yeah, it's
It's
my
gonna
actual
be
birthday.
such a great day, and it's almost
Right.
sold out. I've been watching your story, so if at this
Yeah.
point it probably is sold out by the time this airs.
Yeah.
Which is this is like so incredible that you've had so much going on in such a short amount of time.
Yes, it is. Seems surreal, honestly, and it's very overwhelming, but also just like surreal, kind of. You know what I mean? Um, like you said, from the airport, and now I have my artwork on cocktail drinks. Uh, that right there was probably the best collab I've ever done ever in my 5, 6 years. It still seems unreal to this day, honestly. But major shout out to Tattoo Moms on South Street, Philly. They're like a bar restaurant where they share art all over their walls and like things like that. Very cool place, and we built a relationship maybe about, I want to say, going on 2 years ago. A fellow artist that I know, she had an event there. It's like a pop up shop, and she asked me to be, one of the featured artists. So I was there, and I met the owner of the bar, and he was like, "I love your work. You're an amazing guy. Blah blah blah." And ever since then, they just been so supportive of me. And one day, fast forward, maybe about like a couple of months ago, he was like, "Hey, we want your artwork on our next project for a cocktail. How do you feel about that?" And I was like, "What you mean how I feel? Sign me up." You know what I mean? Like,
You're
I'm
like,
all
which
for it.
painting do I choose? Like
Right,
this is now the
right,
next, yeah,
right.
your mind's going
Exactly.
like crazy trying to think.
Right. So what I did was I made a custom painting for them, and they used that painting on the cans. As a matter of fact, if I had time, can I go grab one right now?
Yeah, I would love to see it because I know you have one painting behind you, but
Yep.
bring
Yeah.
everything out. I want to see
I will
everything.
show you right now.
Okay,
One second.
sounds good.
10 seconds later.
By Tattoo Moms. It's called T Moms to Go, Mom's Mule. But as you can see, my artwork is featured on the can. Like there's my signature, like smile piece, and things like that.
That is,
Abstract patterns, the flag and lips and like things like that. So I'm like very big on patterns and colors. So they loved it, including my signature right there. So it's pretty amazing.
listen, I
Very
don't
good.
even drink, but because that's like such a cool bottle, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely taking up drinking now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
I would want to hold that in my hand. I'm like, I would feel cool
yeah,
drinking
yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's very good stuff, man. And I'm like, and the good part is it's plant based.
Ah, okay.
It's a
Now,
plant based cocktail.
what kind of cocktail is it?
So it's made with like ginger, agave, and I believe the alcohol, it's some sort of like kind of like a can say like a gin kind of
Okay.
sort of flavor to it, but it's all natural, no added poisons or like things like that. And if Tattoo Mom walk tells, if you guys are seeing this, if it's not gin, I'm sorry, but it's very good. It's a very good drink. It's very
And
good.
it tastes just as good as it looks, I hope.
Tastes just as good as it looks.
Good.
It's amazing.
That's incredible. So is your painting now in their restaurant right now, or
Yes, it is.
okay.
Yep. Yep. It sure is. And I can't wait to see it when everything opens back up. It's like fully. So yeah, they actually have the painting right now. Mhm.
That is incredible. Look, can
Incredible.
you ever imagine this was going to be your life?
No.
Is we briefly
No.
talked about it, but I also read on your website that you played basketball, you became
Yeah.
semi-professional or professional basketball player, and you're probably like, yeah, this is my goal, this is what I'm going to be doing, and then
Yeah.
what, like total
Yeah.
opposite plan of like what you were anticipating.
Absolutely. So I had the chance to play in Santiago, Chile, and I had a chance to, like sign a contract for a full season. And ironically, that was not the route that, it's like that was meant for me. And I came home. Now I'm here painting. Had my artwork on a cocktail can. I'm painting the Philadelphia International Airport. So that's major to me. And I wouldn't change it for nothing right now.
That's
Nothing.
amazing.
So this is
I
my true calling.
Yeah, I like this path for you. I mean, I don't even know
Yeah, me
you
too.
personally,
Me too.
but I'm
Yeah.
like totally cheering you on. I'm all
Thank you so
excited for you.
much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
So you've done, I mean, we're now like, I'm literally jumping all over the place because I'm just like, I have all these questions, I have all this stuff, and God forbid I like go in order, right?
Yeah.
But you have murals, you
Mhm.
have cocktail cans, but you also have your canvases. And that's what I want to talk about because you have great mixed media on there. I've seen spray paint, I've seen acrylic. Do you
Yeah.
have a medium that you prefer better? Do you have, a preference to murals versus canvas? Like, I want to kind of know a little bit more about your art in that sense.
When it comes to art, I don't like to label, it's like label myself as an acrylic artist or as a oil painting artist. I personally feel like art can be anything and you can use it with anything, you know what I mean? So I've used oil, acrylic, spray paint, markers, crayons, magazine paper, glue, everything. I use everything in my paintings because I personally feel like there's no such thing as a, label. It's like you can't mess art up. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
You cannot mess art up because it's art. It's going to become something great regardless how you do it or what you do it with. So I use everything in my paintings. Everything.
Yeah. And I agree with you. I mean, art's not meant to be perfect, first and foremost, because the ending result of a painting, for example,
Mm-hmm.
how you get to the end of it is
Mm-hmm.
exactly how it was supposed to be. So if you're outside of
Right.
the lines a little bit, or you go a little too dark on your colors, or this happened, like
Mm-hmm.
it was a whole journey. It's not meant to be perfect. And I think that that's
Exactly.
incredible because it just shows how personal it is. And, your
Mm-hmm.
craft really is, very personal, and I can't even like think, I don't want to say like,
Very personal.
yeah, why am I at a loss for words right now?
Didn't like school one. I don't know what it was, Katie. Hard to explain. The young version of me was just like so, man, I don't know, nuts, insane maybe, but I literally always had the artistic side of me. You know what I'm saying? Just being a creative, and I love that about myself. Like I just love art, fashion, like things like that. And I was very good at skateboarding too. So I love skateboarding. That's like my second like favorite sport like, ever.
So paint the bottom of skateboards. Let's start a whole company. Come on,
Dude,
we gotta get these ideas going, man.
I do actually.
Oh,
I
I should
actually
have known, actually.
yeah. I actually painted a couple of skateboards and I sold them. One painting, actually, one skateboard recently went to Georgia.
Wow. Okay, that's
Yeah, I'm not
awesome.
sure. I don't know who bought it off my website, but I just saw the address and I was like, wow, it's going to Georgia. So yeah,
That's
that's one of my
wild.
second favorite things too. I love skateboarding. I love the
That's
whole X Games and stuff like that. So
that's so cool. But see, I think
yeah.
young wild Sean was meant to be like that, because if you were like whatever, not trying to knock people, but if you were like a super nerd at school and you're like, yeah, I love books, I love academia, like
You're funny.
like you wouldn't be you now. And not everybody is like
man,
meant to love school, just like not everybody's meant to be an artist.
I wasn't like really sure of like how to express myself. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
But like slowly but surely it just came out. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't afraid to like be myself. Like things like that. So I'm really happy the way I like turned out to be because I'm the man who I am today. And things are happening for me. It's like big things are happening for me. So
And you were meant to go to that school and you were meant to play ball there and you were meant to
yeah.
be on that path. And there's no regrets.
Yeah, there's no regrets whatsoever, man.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
I mean, some of the best relationships you make are at school. Like I'm still really good friends with people I went to college with. I mean, I graduated in 2007, so I'm ancient, right?
Katie, hold on 1 second, Katie. Can you see him playing with the dog in the background?
Yes, and I love it. This is like a whole moment. And I love that you just realized that, because I'm like, Compton's been on the couch hanging out for the last couple minutes.
He's ridiculous, first of all. But this is my life, and this is what I love. Like my family is like around me 24/7. Like it's whatever, you know what I mean? But this is me.
Yes, but this is exactly what I wanted to see. This is what this conversation was about, to meet Sean Kinsey, to learn about you, hear your story. So I'm like, I'm coming into your space, So I'm like, don't worry. Hey, if your fiance's home, bring her on camera. I'm like, the more the merrier. She'd probably be like, no, I don't want to be on camera right now.
My hair's not done, blah, blah, blah.
But I'm like, no, bring everybody. I don't care. This can be a whole family reunion on this like YouTube conversation. But no, but that's exactly like a good thing to see for what you were just talking about, to actually see everything of your everyday life playing out. Your dog is there, your friend is there, you're hanging out, you're in your space.
That's my bro. That's my brother, actually. She's more like that tall little brother to me, to me. So yeah.
So you got to tell him about how I'm going to hang the low paintings. He's going to hang the tall paintings, but we're both there for you. Okay?
He heard you.
I'm only 5'2". Oh my God. I have somebody from Philly calling me right now. Everybody's calling. I'm so sorry. Should have put do not disturb. So her name is Julia. What's up?
Yeah. So Julia?
Julia. So she is the creator of Black, Bold, and Beautiful. So she is a member of Rec Philly, but she's also a member of the legendary media group. So Tyrone knows her as well.
Dope.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. So when I came to Philly, I met up with, were there four of us, and there was a few other people that were supposed to come, but they couldn't end up make it, because we went to brunch and then we went to Rec Philly for like a photo shoot that we were doing. But I tell you, there's probably like 10 people in my group from Philly, and they've now like spread all over, like Tyrone's in LA, and everybody's kind of moving around. But I'm like, I feel like it would be such a small world. I feel like a lot of these people that are in my group. Like if you were to look them up, you're like, oh, we have like tons of mutual friends. So
I might know some. Honestly, Katie, I'm not really big in the how can I say it? I'm not really big in the creators world here, like Philly, and there's like nothing personal, but I'm not really a part of the art crowd. Kind of
You're
you can
just you're
say.
in your own crowd. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like in my own crowd, man, because I like to fit in with everyone. You know what I'm saying? I
Yep.
don't really can't really feel like I'm a part of this group of people because they do this or they do that. I just like being myself, like being around who I'm around no matter what,
Yep.
who they are, and I'm like fine with that. So I'm not really a huge fan of like being in the creative atmosphere here. You know what I mean? I like to follow my own path, my own mind, and just do my own thing. So
And that's fine too. You don't have
that's
to be
me.
wrapped up in with them.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know. How you said, I'm like social, but like anti-social somewhat.
So
Not purposely, but just like I just like my own space.
that's
Just
your
doing my own
energy.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got to
you know what
protect
I
it.
mean?
So Julia actually had me on one of her podcast episodes, and we were talking because she's like, obviously you're the antisocial socialite, but there is
Mhm.
being an introvert and an extrovert. But we were discussing, I'm actually an ambivert, which is kind of in the middle. And I feel
Ambivert.
like that's where
The middle.
you are
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
I'm an ambivert. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So,
I'm an
because as
ambivert.
much as and like what we've been on here for like almost 2 hours, it feels like, no,
Yep.
it's like
Yeah.
an hour and a half,
Yeah,
but like,
hour, hour.
as much as I love to talk, I
Mhm.
also love to just have my own space and be totally by myself and not talk to anybody. So I feel like I
Mhm.
am a very extroverted introvert, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, yeah. Makes a lot of sense. See, when it comes to myself, I feel like it's like being a creative. Like most creatives can adapt to most people. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like for example, I'm creative, but I can adapt to athletes or just regular people or like just being around just genuine real people. And I personally feel like a lot of creatives can't do that. They're only comfortable around people who create, or different or whatever the case may be. I personally can be around anyone.
Yeah.
I don't care what your background is. I don't care who you are, and I'm fine with that. That's who I am, and
Yeah.
I love that about myself. So, you know, that's
That's
why that's why personally, I honestly don't have any like, how can I say it? I don't have a bunch of friends who are creatives. I have about maybe three of them who I'm like very close to, and the rest are all like athletes and things like that. So all businessmen. Um, and that's about it, really. But I don't really like to, you know, you know, just have a group of friends who are all like painters and like things like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one big melting pot, man. And like I said, I like one of my goals is to put my entire family on, and just use my platform as their platform. So
Yeah. No, I love it. And it's just
yeah,
nice to have a diverse friend group
yeah,
because I feel like it really
exactly,
opens you up to new opportunities and
exactly.
abilities that if
Right.
you were stuck in this box, like again, we're talking about being stuck in a box, but like if you were stuck in this box of like only hanging out with that
Yeah.
Compton, how dare you? No, I'm kidding.
Please turn it off right now.
You probably have
Please.
another friend coming.
Yeah, I got more friends coming
Don't
probably.
even worry. No, I'll less than 5 minutes. We'll get this wrapped up so you can go
Yeah,
enjoy
we
your
can talk
evening.
more.
But no, I think like if you were only to hang out with athletes, you would only have that mentality and you wouldn't be able to see things in a different light. If
Right.
you were only friends with creatives or only friends that are like, bookworms, like you need to
Yeah,
have that diversity in your life in so many different areas.
you
So, and
do.
like, I think it's dope that you don't just like constrict yourself to hanging out with one group. Like you need to have that
Yeah.
to be a well-rounded person. So yeah,
Facts.
keep doing
Facts. I
that, man.
agree. Facts.
So Yeah, so we're gonna wrap this up so you can hang out with Tall Friend, Compton, your fiance, anybody else that might be rolling through tonight.
Yeah.
But before we get going, and I'm gonna keep you on here just for a minute after I end this, but drop your social handles so people know where to find you, your website, make sure to check you out. Yeah.
So you can find me at Sean, that's SEAN .sk.Kinsey, KINSEY. So Sean Kinsey, basically. Just type that in, pops right up. Sean Kinsey. My website, SeanKinseyArt.com, SEANKINSEY art.com. And email will be on there. So for any business inquiries, my email information is all in the bio. So that's about it.
Awesome. Now that I've learned so much more about you, I just want to get back to the first thing I asked you at the beginning of this. Can I get your social security number?
Oh, wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I'm just kidding.
8, 9, 10.
I'm just kidding. No, I had to fuck with you because you were like, what? So awesome. Sean, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. I really appreciate it. And we got to get you back on part 2 once those projects have been completed so we can talk about them. So awesome. All right, guys, I hope that you loved my interview with Sean. You can also go to my YouTube page at Antisocialite Katie. You can check out the full interview, all of my other interviews, every single other 38 episodes that I've done thus far. If you want to binge watch me, I would greatly appreciate that. And make sure if you're ever in the Philadelphia area that you travel to the airport one way or another, whether it's connecting flight or you want to go there and visit, and go check out Sean's mural in the airport. Hopefully it will be completed sooner rather than later, so when outside really truly opens up, you'll have the opportunity to enjoy it. So make sure you go check him out on Instagram, go get inspired by his wonderful happy paintings, and do something that makes you feel good. Let me know what that's gonna be. If it is pranking somebody tomorrow because it is April 1st, do so. I'm all about it, just as long as you feel good. Well, and that you don't make others feel like shit. So make everyone feel good. All right, on that note, I will see you guys next week. Peace.